Since the beginning of mankind, our ancestors discovered an important aspect to our survival. Food. Yes, folks, we all have to eat. But where did food come from? And why do we need it? For the next 4 hours and 38 minutes, we will answer these questions. And now, we will share with you the necessary dietary needs for your child. Infant formula is the best nutritional alternative to breastfeeding your baby. There are 3 ways you can obtain formula. First, you received formula from the medical staff prior to being discharged from the hospital. Second, you were specifically instructed by your physician or dietitian to purchase your formula. Infant formula can be easily purchased at a grocery or drugstore. Third, families who qualify can arrange for an appointment at the WIC, also known as the Women, Infants, and Children Clinic. There, you will receive the proper voucher, which can be used to purchase formula and select foods for your infant, child, and you. If you have any questions about obtaining your formula or would like to switch formulas, please contact your dietitian or physician. Feeding your child, especially an infant, occurs frequently and often at inconvenient times. This can seem overwhelming for new parents. However, there is no need to feel nervous about this task. The steps are simple and easy to remember. In fact, these steps are so easy, even Dad can do it. Not to worry, Dad. 4 a.m. is plenty early to get your son fed and get ready for work. Now it's time to gather your supplies for preparing your child's meal. You will need the following: a clean surface, formula, clean water, recipe instructions, mixing utensils, and the proper storage containers. Now that you have gathered your supplies, it is time to start. Hold it right there, Dad. Remember, always wash your hands thoroughly prior to touching your child's formula. Washing your hands is very easy. First, wet your hands with clean running water. Warm or cold water temperature is fine. Be sure to lather your hands by rubbing them together with soap. Scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds. Be sure to rough up all those resident biota. That's the best way to get rid of pathogens, Dad. Don't forget your interdigital and subungual regions. No one wants to spread coagules, negative staphylococci, or gram-negative bacilli. By the way, Dad, don't forget about Junior. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. Rinse your hands well under clean running water. Then dry your hands using a clean towel or paper towels, or you can just air dry them. Or you can wave your hands in the air like you just don't care. There now. Doesn't it feel good to be clean? After you have reviewed your specific recipe instructions, follow these simple steps. Step 1. Measure water into a clean measuring cup or bottle. Be sure to always follow your specific instructions given to you by your dietitian or physician. Step 2. Add the amount of formula per recipe instructions. Step 3. Shake your container until the formula has completely dissolved. There must be no clumps. You're gonna have to do better than that, Dad. Put your back into it. Again. Harder. Great job, Dad. No clumps. Step 4. Pour out the desired amount that your baby needs into their bottle. Step 5. If you have formula remaining, be sure to store in a closed container in the refrigerator. Be sure to label and date accurately. Do not serve refrigerated formula that is over 24 hours old to your infant. And now, the moment of truth, Dad. It's time to feed that hungry baby. Don't worry, Dad. You know the steps well enough now that you'll have another bottle ready in a jiffy. But just in case you don't, here's a quick review. Pour and measure water. Add formula. Shake. Remember, no clumps. Pour. Not too much, not too little, just right for your baby. Be sure to store in a closed container. Refrigerate leftovers. Good for 24 hours. Now that we've learned all of the proper steps to mix the formula, here are a few precautions to remember. Does it matter what water I use? Of course it does. Nursery and tap water are both acceptable. It is recommended that you boil your water for at least 1 minute prior to use, then allow to cool. If you only have access to well water, make sure that you contact your local and state health departments to learn proper ways to disinfect and ensure that it is safe to consume. Always check the expiration date of the formula you are using. Using expired formula can cause your baby to become very sick. It's also really, really gross. Warm your child's bottle in hot but not boiling water. I said no boiling water! Do not heat your baby's bottle in a microwave. This can cause hot spots and will not warm thoroughly. Dad, why don't you try warming the water in the microwave, then placing the bottle into the warmed water? Make sure you test the temperature of the formula on your own skin before feeding your baby. Let's take a look at our next precaution. As your baby grows, their nutritional requirements will change. In order to assure your baby is growing properly, weight and nutrition assessment should be completed at your follow-up visits. You may be instructed to advance your baby's nutrition by a dietitian or physician. Please refer back to your feeding instructions at discharge, which may indicate a feeding advancement plan. But wait, I don't have a baby. What can I feed my child? If you have an older child or teenager with specific nutritional needs, it is important to review your dietary recommendations with a dietitian. Otherwise, follow the recommended food guide that you received from the hospital. Be sure to follow the dietary plan that is appropriate for your child's age. Remember that when you return home from a hospital discharge, it may take a couple days before your child's appetite returns to normal. You see, folks, equipped with the right information, our capable dad and Junior are doing just fine. Do not hesitate to contact your dietitian or physician if you have concerns about your child's growth or feeding. The wonderful staff at the Cincinnati Children's Heart Institute are committed to ensure your child is healthy.